Hey y'all, it's Indigo here. Wanted to put out a quick video about 5 basic tips that you should be doing for your Grand Arena anyway. A lot of people, I'm surprised, are not doing these things, and these are only going to help you with your Grand Arena matchups. So let me share them with you. The first tip is you want to demod your roster and remod your roster. And what that means is go through, you see how Cup is modded there. What are you going to use a Gear 7 or Gear 8 character like Cup for? Absolutely nothing. All it's going to do is fluff up your GP, make you a little bit higher. I know when Territory Battles first came out, that was the big thing. They told you maximize all your GP that you can get so that we can deploy and reach this next star goal, but you don't need it, especially for a Grand Arena. It hurts you. You see Bodhi Rook there with an incomplete mod set. What's he gonna do? I started this account at 4.7 mil GP, took mods off a few characters, especially the pilots, and you can see it dropped it down to 4.679. I mean, that doesn't sound like a huge amount of GP, but for example, take this, the First Order Special Forces pilot. You can see I caught it right when I took all the mods off. It dropped 4K GP just from that one character because he's a pilot. I think he's like Gear 7 or Gear 8. You're not going to use him against any squad worthwhile in Grand Arena. You're going to use your G12, G11 characters, maybe even G10, but you're not going to use a Gear 7 halfway modded pilot for anything. Even his ship, you probably got better ships than that. If you're in the 4 mil plus bracket, you certainly have better ships than his. So if he's one of your weaker characters, don't just store mods on him. And you say, oh, Indigo, I need to store them on there because I run out of mod space. Clean your mod inventory out. I've never once ever hit the cap on mods. And I have top mods on a lot of the characters that I use. And I got a stockpile of mods to choose from for when new characters come out. You don't need to have a huge stockpile so that you're running out of room hitting the cap on your mods, okay? Sell them, get some credits, use those credits to upgrade the mods that you already have that are worthwhile. There's no point in having that many mods. So that's the first tip for you. Number 5 is to demod and remod your roster. That'll drop you down in some GP and make the heroes that you do have a lot more efficient, hopefully with some better mods on there, and the squads that you know you're going to use can have their top mods on, and you're not, I think I uncovered a 19 speed mod that was sitting on Bodhi. What's that going to do on him? Nothing. So that can better go on somebody like Thrawn or Revan or Yoda, somebody that you're actually going to use. So think about that. That's tip number 5, demod, remod your roster. Moving on to the next tip, tip number 4, you want to stay lean. That goes right along with the remodding of your roster. What that means is you don't want to put gear that's unnecessary onto your characters, because once you click that little green plus and put it on there, you can't take it back. Whether it's a piece you might need for a character that really needs it later that's going to be important, or some characters that you can see at the bottom there that I haven't activated, like the B1 battle droid and the droidica. Yeah, eventually I'll activate them and probably use them. But right now, what good are they going to do me at 3 stars, gear level 1, when I know I'm not planning on putting gear into them anytime soon? They're just going to be a GP boost, however small that might be, but it's still going to be a boost that I can't take back. So they can sit there until I'm ready to use them, until the viable strategy comes out where someone says, yeah, at 3 stars, this one's going to be great. All you have to do is use them with, so and so. Well, for right now, he's not doing me any harm sitting there. And there are people out there like this that keep their characters deactivated and sit there and collect until they have the 330 shards to 7-starred in one go. And then they have the gear ready. Because you can see above them, Ugnaught and My Cup and Kit Fisto. All these are useless characters that I haven't put gear into. I'm not going to put gear into anytime soon. So if they were deactivated, it would be that much less GP for me to have to carry around. It's considered fluff as far as Grand Arena goes. I know it helped us in territory battles back in the day, but right now it hurts you. So if you can leave a character that's not going to be a major character for your squads, for your style of playing, and you can leave them deactivated, that's going to help you that much more. Keep your roster fat down. Keep the fluff down. So that's it for that. But going right along with that, let's jump into the next tip. Number 3 is you want to maximize your value. And what that means is maximizing the value for the characters that you are going to put some effort into. You don't want to pour all your resources into Gear 12ing Mod Enforcer if you're only going to use him in TB in a certain squad. The example here I have on the screen right now is Thrawn, okay? He's probably one of the most versatile utility characters that there is. He's good in so many top-end squads and counter squads, and he's got his own capital ship, and it's good in the ship arena and ship battles, is good for the special mission and the dark side territory battles. So you got to kind of have that anyway. But him as a character is a great character that provides a lot of utility. So as you level up your characters and gear them up and decide what mods you're going to work on in order to boost them up, make sure that they're a very versatile character that will be good for multiple game modes. Like Thrawn, you can use him in the arena right now. You definitely use him in Grand Arena. Of course, I just mentioned we use him in territory battles. You're going to use him at some point in territory war, whether it's on a defensive squad to make sure you go first, or it's going to be on an offensive counter, currently to Revan with the Traya team, as an example. He provides just a lot of utility, and there are other characters out there like that. So you want to focus on the character and say, am I only going to use this for this one niche use? Or am I going to use this for multiple modes? And is it worth the increase to my overall GP if I have this character? What good is he going to do me? So there you go. There's another simple tip for you. Let's get into the next one. So tip number 2 here is know your map. And you'd be surprised, a lot of people don't consider this. A lot of people don't pay attention to the calendars when they come out and know which style of Grand Arena is on tap for this month. We just got through with the 5v5 that had 2 squad zones in the bottom, 1 up top, and then ships in the back. But you got to know that, because we might have the map style of Grand Arena where we have all the squads up top and the whole southern part of the map is just the ship. Like here it is right here. Here's an example where you can't hide your squads. They're all in one section, and your opponent gets to pick and choose what squad they're going to battle first and second, third, so on. And then they can see what ship you have right at the outset and decide what they're going to be able to hold and use for that. So you got to know which map it is that you're going to be battling on so that you can kind of plan out ahead of time what your strategy might be. Here's another example of a map layout on this one where we've got character squads and no ships, and we've got characters in the front and back, north and south. You want to know that so that you can have the appropriate number of squads ready and the composition, whether it's 5 versus 5 or 3 versus 3. You want to think this stuff out ahead of time so that you can plan your upgrades and everything else you got going on. You don't want to be surprised and be working on ships and then come to find out the next Grand Arena doesn't even use them. Now you've just boosted your GP to go against people that may have a laser focus on their ground troops. So all of these are just, simple things that you can think of that might help you do a little bit better in Grand Arena. Now, the last tip I wanted to share with you, and you might think this is kind of self-explanatory, but a lot of people aren't doing this, is to know your enemy. And what that is doing your homework. When you get your Grand Arena bracket and you're against 7 other people in there, go through, get their ally codes, and if you're a Discord user, find the DSR bot. It's on a lot of servers. You can go visit a Game Changer server. I'm sure they're on there. Heck, you guys can join my server. The link's in the description, and I have a room for this where you can look up your ally code against your opponent's ally code, and it gives you a bunch of useful stats. Like, what is your GP for your ground troops? What's your GP for your ships? How many Zetas do you have? How many Gear 11, Gear 12, what's your squad and fleet rank? If I'm looking at my opponent and I say, oh, my opponent is rank 300 in ships and rank 1,000 in the squad arena, I know I'm in good shape since I rank at the top of mine, that I know what I'm doing combat-wise and he probably won't. So I take that into consideration whenever I'm up against my opponent. Another thing you can do is take their in-game name, whatever their game name happens to be, like Indigo, and go to your web browser and search it with swgoh.gg. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. If you do anything outside of the game related to this game, it shows you all the characters and gear required and things like that. You can look up that other player's profile and see what their mods are, see what their gear levels are, see where their Zetas are, and do a bunch of useful things on that website. Another thing you can even do is, and I don't have footage of it to show you, but it's pretty easy to figure out, is when the Grand Arena locks and you have your group of 8 that you're up against, you can go into where the prizes are and see the list and click on your opponent there, and it'll go into his game roster, and you can see in game and what his squads and everything are. And then you can filter it by faction, first order, bounty hunter, whatever, and get yourself an idea of, okay, well, this guy's bounty hunters suck. He's probably not going to put them down on defense, or if he does, I'm going to be able to mow right through them. It's going to be no problem for my Imperial troopers. Or, oh, this guy doesn't have Revan. That means he's going to struggle against my Revan if I put him on defense. Doing your homework on your opponent is going to give you that edge to know what you're up against and know, okay, this is what he might put on defense. This is what I should save for offense. And there's a lot of people that aren't doing this. They just, I don't know if they're just collectors or what, and they'll put random squads on defense, or they'll say, okay, I'll put my Revan, my Treya, my CLS, my JTR, put everything on defense, make it hard for my opponent. Well, guess what? Okay, you made that one zone hard. He goes the other way, mows down half your board, and he's stuck on the one zone, but you tapped yourself out on firepower, and now you can't clear a single zone of his, so you lose. And you don't want something like that to happen to you. So take advantage of the tools that are out there, whether it's looking through the roster in-game, or you have Discord and you look up with the different bots there, the DSR bot, even the counter bots that can help you decide what's a good counter for this squad. They get a lot of use. So I hope these tips have helped you guys. Again, it's something maybe a lot of you will know and a lot of you do already, but there's a lot of people out there that don't think of these just simple things that will give you the edge and help you to do better. So good luck to you guys. Grand Arena starts tomorrow, 3v3 in case you didn't know. We'll catch you next time. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.